For the love of God. That's annoying too. Oh, come on. Does that work? I don't know if, wait. Testing? Hello? Can you hear me? You can't reply, fuckers. Um, YouTube just fucked me over, for the love of God. And maybe that's an act of God. Smack that one down. Topic is why I'm an atheist, which the short answer is Oreos. That I don't know what that black cookie with the cream filling destroyed my faith. Yeah, it's true. That cookie destroyed my faith. I was out. I was out in the mountains. I was feeling very spiritual. Just walking through a woodland meadow, all by myself. I was about to get on my knees and pray, and as I knelt down on the ground, I heard the crunch of a crispy, delicious treat. A treat. Who says treat, by the way? Like anybody who says, like I gave myself a treat. I baked a tasty treat. You're an asshole, and you shouldn't use that word because it's annoying. That's probably one of the most annoying words around. Treat. What a treat. It's such a treat. No, it's not a treat. I don't like to hear it. And is it, wait, I don't know. Maybe? Whoa, maybe? I don't know. What the fuck? What if I, hold on. Not everything goes perfect in your life. Fuck you. That work? That work? That's loud. Well, that's louder. Fuck. Okay, it's all fucked up. Where was I? No, tasty treats. Yeah, stop saying that word. But, I knelt on the Oreo. I realized that the Oreo was, an analogy for our modern life. That it was broken. The black pieces were broken amongst the white pieces. And it was just an awful, painful, disgusting mix. And I knew in that moment that the world would never truly come together. And that there was no God. How's that for a deep story? Wouldn't that be cool if that was really what happened? Like if that was literally... I mean, it would be just as absurd as what people really do to get converted. But it would just be funner. Funner? Funner. It would be funner. Fuck. I'll sit closer. If that's what I gotta do, I'll do it. So, no, really. It is relating to... This video is a train wreck. This is what happens if you're an atheist, folks. God fucks up your YouTube videos. Not poverty, not healing sick people. He's sitting up there and he's like, that son of a bitch is making a YouTube video, and I'm not gonna have that. But no, I was raised Mormon, half-assedly, which I can't thank my parents enough for that. Because getting indoctrinated into bullshit is one thing, but getting lazily indoctrinated into bullshit, not so bad. It's almost putting you on the path to unbelief. But I never liked church. It sucked. People there were assholes. It was boring. And did I mention people there were assholes? Which people say, oh no, that's the church, that's people, that's not God. But if God's own fucking churches suck and are full of assholes, why am I interested in God if he's so cool with his churches being filled with assholes? A little something to think about. No, I was in one of the few times I did go. Other times I would go to get toys. I would blackmail my parents into buying me toys. So, but one time I was a kid in primary school, and they gave us primary school. Well, I think that's called primary school. Maybe. I don't know. They gave us popcorn and Oreos, and a kid took my Oreos. The son of a bitch took my Oreos, and you know what? They didn't have replacement Oreos for me. So, at that moment, I decided what kind of a God can't give his children Oreos? Why can't he provide enough fucking Oreos? Why can't he raise people in his church who follow his teachings, not to teach their kids not to be Oreo-stealing fuckers? Yeah, answer me that, theists. Do it. And I vowed on that day. I I stood there in my little voice and I said, never again will I suffer this injustice. But the kid did really steal my Oreos though, and so all my life church sucked. It was retarded. I hated it. Most boring, awful shit filled with hypocrites and liars and assholes. Which they say, oh, church is supposed to be filled with those people, but doesn't mean I want to be around a single fucking one of them. And I learned the word for breasts in Spanish, maybe Mexican Spanish, some kind of Spanish. Chi-chis? I don't know. I never looked it up, but that's where I learned it. And there's also times where, say, just lightheartedly in class, I would ask if Jesus was a good dancer, because I figured, since people apparently know so much about Jesus and what he wants, and all the things he wants us to do, I figured the least they could know is if he liked dancing or not. I think if Jesus told them, all these grand plans about how to live your life and for eternity, maybe he'd clue them on to some of his interests. And rather, is he a good dancer? Which I think is a valid question. Lord of the Universe ought to be a good dancer. And they were fucking offended. It sounds ridiculous, but honestly, if I'm in a group of people who think that's an offensive thing to say, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's not my group. But there was all of that, and there's also the doctrine, of the racism, the inherent racism, the hypocrisy of God told us to do this, but oh wait, society isn't making it tenable for us to do this anymore, so we're gonna have a new revelation, and we'll wipe that away and say we've reformed, which is bullshit. Whatever institutionalized hate and bullshit you want. So it was that. So I decided I couldn't believe in that church, which is the Mormon church. And at that rate, the thing is, if the only reason church ever made any sense was because it's all the same nonsense I was always filled with. So when you look at other faiths, it's totally patently absurd. Islam, Catholicism, Judaism, whatever, what the fuck ever. I mean, Christian religions are super fucking ridiculous. Islam, totally fucking absurd. Wouldn't believe that for all the rewards in heaven. But I don't know. Hold on. You've watched this long. You can wait. Yeah. So I decided, since religion as a whole was something that I couldn't work with, for a while I had my own God. Exactly what I wanted to be. All the good teachings. It was create a God, and I did, and he was a great God. But one day I realized that if you can create your own God and define exactly what he is, then what's the point in having a God? Because if everybody can make their own personal God, then clearly it's all nonsense, and it has to stop somewhere. So that's when I started thinking about it, and I realized if a God's so easily created, then he's exactly that, created. So I stopped believing then. And yeah, that's the earth-shaking story. I hope some of you brought tissues. Hope you're all moved, probably converted, many of you. So for the rest of the gospel, rcaustic.com.